He took charge of the pro-Bolsonaro campaign, right? Even dressed as Bolsonaro. We saw him, and he's forcing all his, characters from this campaign. They're going around, right, also wearing green and yellow. Look, the intention is to try to confuse people. You see members of his party there, dressed in green and yellow shirts, so it gives the impression that they are Bolsonaro supporters. Look, the tactic, but it didn't work out for the guy here, who is also no good. That Randolfe guy, well known from Amapá. The guy used to show up, but you saw he disappeared, right? Lately he vanished, hasn't shown up anymore. Look at how their situation is. Why isn't he showing up? Because he's at the bottom of the polls for the Senate campaign in his state. So, to avoid making people even more upset, he just disappeared and took a step back. He went to do an early political event. That's how these people are, right? They think they can do absolutely anything, right? Okay, there's the Supreme Court and all, but look, not even the public prosecutor's office in his state allowed that. Randolfe and Lula are also dressed like Bolsonaro supporters and all. What do? Give it a thumbs up like the regular folks, okay? The regular folks are desperate. Let's believe in Quares. It'll work out, okay? Come be part of our family. Subscribe to the channel, smash that share button. I'm going to show you everything here, folks, but first I want to share an opportunity and show you Slim Fever. I always post videos here, and just recently I lost 2 kilos in a day. Then people say, it's just water weight, but look at the images. Look at my face. Look at my face. I only sell the product here because I fully trust it. Look at my face. Look at the image. This really works. It hasn't even been a year. Not even a year. This right here. First-hand experience. Look at my pants. See how loose they are? And obviously they're already like this. I don't even wear a belt, see? You can fit a hand in here. The product works, obviously. You have to have, discipline. That's how dieting is. You have to plan, but it helps a lot of people. It was 20 kilos. 20 kilos that I lost, right? After 40, things get more difficult. It's harder to lose weight, even though I work out every day. And I do. I still couldn't lose weight. Focus, discipline, being able to lose. The images speak for themselves. Look at my face. My face is totally different, right? So it's worth it for you who don't want to miss this opportunity. An easier and extremely natural way, it's a little powder that you add, right? Yeah, especially with those greasy meals. It's going to help you get rid of fat, lose inches. The link is right here, just below. A great opportunity to lose weight in a healthy way, with quality of life. It totally changes things. Pants that didn't fit before start to fit. Our self-esteem gets much higher. That's a fact, right? The link is right below for anyone who doesn't want to miss this opportunity to lose weight today, okay? Randolfe ignores the MP and has his pre-candidacy event suspended. Well, thank you. You can see it here. He's wearing a Bolsonaro shirt, also green and yellow. Because he's at the bottom of the rankings in the Senate, from Amapá at the very bottom. And people are going to vote in large numbers for a Bolsonaro supporter, especially for senator, So what are they doing? They're wearing green and yellow shirts. Right? Even though they feel repulsed, they are disgusted by the colors of our country. Their color is red. Everybody knows it's to try to fool the people. Look, because a lot of people, we know about politics, but there are many people who don't, who sometimes like Bolsonaro, but don't follow politics. Look, he's a Bolsonaro supporter. Now Randolfe Rodriguez is a Bolsonaro supporter. I'm going to vote for him because he's a Bolsonaro supporter. Look at what they're doing. It's a move they thought through long before making. It's not because of the World Cup. It's to try to get the vote of people who aren't into politics. Look here. Randolfe Rodriguez even started a big launch event for his pre-campaign, re-election. But a lot of public money, but think about the huge amount of public money, right? Even after the Regional Electoral Court of Amapá ordered the suspension of the event, it was scheduled for 6 p.m. The injunction, obtained from the Electoral Public Prosecutor's Office, prohibited the use of the professional structure set up at the location, which included a stage, LED screens, sound system, balloon, inflatable balloons with the name. Look at what it is, the money that's spent. Look, inflatable balloons are really expensive. Sound system, LED screen. Stage. These things aren't cheap. Randolfe received the notification at 7:59 p.m., informed the public about the court's decision, and thanked the people who were there. The lawsuit was filed after prosecutors from the public ministry found that a structure was being set up at the location that was not allowed during the pre-campaign period. In other words, a show structure, because obviously there was a show. There were all those things. A police chief there without one. But they're wearing Bolsonaro shirts to give the impression that they're all Bolsonaro supporters. That's the situation these people are in, right? The campaign, because all of this is Lula's tactic. Look here, right? Lula releases a jingle, doesn't he? A jingle praising his campaign with the World Cup, because during the World Cup, everyone wears green and yellow. Everyone, right? So he's trying to use the World Cup event to use green and yellow and confuse people. The other day, he was wearing President Bolsonaro's shirt, and it's cowardly, it's criminal, all the crimes, all of them, that they took away from him after he had robbed the whole country. You see him wearing Bolsonaro's shirt, and Bolsonaro without power. He's out there walking around Brazil. It's revolting, it's revolting. A guy who stole so much. Still, we see his brother, then the union that stole the second most, his son. They steal the retirees' money, and Bolsonaro is in jail. And those guys, right? Because for them it's great, right? Bolsonaro can't campaign. He can't defend himself. They talk, they put all the blame on President Bolsonaro, and they even blamed him for INSS, Banco Master. It's such cowardice. It's outrageous. Just look at that.
Lula is unlucky. Lula put on Bolsonaro's shirt. Look at that. Did you see it or not?
Didn't you see Lula? Lula wearing Bolsonaro's shirt. Where is it? Sidonio made him wear Sal Bolsonaro's shirt. He wanted to use his own name, Blue. He wanted Blue to try to dissociate from Bolsonarism, but anyway.
You get it? Why is he wearing Bolsonaro's shirt too? Another thing, since Bolsonaro isn't showing up, he puts on President Bolsonaro's shirt, green and yellow. And he becomes, for many people, the new Bolsonaro, a left-wing Bolsonarist, who uses the green and yellow colors. All of that, guys, all of that. And all of this was very well thought out by Alexandre de Moraes. He knew. He knows, in fact, the strength that President Bolsonaro has. Everything. No, that's already interference. You have the main politician not being able to campaign. Lula was in prison for real crimes, lots of corruption. He robbed the whole country. He was the PT candidate in the elections. Then later they decided, no, that it wasn't allowed and all, but he campaigned. He used social media, Twitter, and all that. There in prison. It's just that these absurdities, we start getting used to them as if they're normal. And there's no power to revolt. Because, let me tell you, it's the same thing these scoundrels do, right? For example, when they create the vehicle tax, they raise the vehicle tax. Man, you stay quiet. Go there and pay. If Brazilians learned to be smart, really smart, then nobody would pay the vehicle tax this year. No one will pay IPTA or IPTU this year. If you put it in active debt, you'll have to include the whole country. Include the entire country. I want to see their response. But Brazilians go there, raise it, bam. Brazilians go there, work like crazy, those entrepreneurs. An employee with Lula's backing is just as much of a millionaire as entrepreneurs who work like crazy. Then you take the businessman, the guy started from the bottom, right? Built up his assets. The guy has every right to say, I want to buy a pickup truck, or a car that's around 800,000, let's say, 800,000. Then the guy pays almost 100,000 raise in vehicle tax, and he just pays it. and he pays it, no problem. A lot of people got used to it, like, it's normal, you have to pay. Yeah, it's crazy Brazilians get used to this nonsense. With this nonsense. Here, this guy here, look, check out the tactic here.
Look at this. The World Cup is coming and suddenly Lula decides to tell the PT members to pretend they're patriots.
Look, it's actually something the left will have to learn how to do. We're going to have to, even during this World Cup, wear green and yellow so we don't let Brazil's colors be taken over by any fascist.
First of all, this nonsense of calling anyone who isn't left-wing a fascist. A fascist is someone who supports dictatorships, who supports censorship and the persecution of political opponents.
The guy supports Venezuela. The guy supports Iran. The guy supports Hamas. The guy supports Cuba. The guy only supports the most ruthless people in the world. He supports them. It's like Commando Vermelho, right? The defense even sent Giannonis there, sent him to defend those guys. They even sent Giannonis. Look at that. Go there and defend my group of criminals. Go on, and we're the ones who are called fascists. Guys, it's surreal. It's unbelievable. The absurd things we're seeing, and we just start to normalize it. It seems like it's all normal, these absurd things we're witnessing. Guys, for God's sake, right? Look, there's no better poll than this. The guy needs to, guide his supporters to wear Bolsonaro's shirt. And of the Brazilian people, because no one can stand seeing red colors anymore. No one can stand arriving somewhere and seeing someone in red. You already think badly of the person. You see someone there, wearing red, really red, and you already think, PT supporter. Not me, I'm not lying, it's a fact, right? And they need to do this in like a second with S. Lula is super popular, okay? With the highest popularity that has ever existed in the history of planet Earth. But look at these liars. Yeah, look, it's... PT supporters have this knack, man. They really do. For the activists, they manage, they can pull off the impossible. They really can. That's a fact. It's obvious. Okay. But just hit that like button, share a lot. Randolfe Rodriguez posing as a Bolsonaro supporter, then after Lula gave the order, things went really bad at the rally, already doing an early rally. Yeah, the Supreme Court, nothing will come of it, that's just how they are. Lawmakers should have already stepped in there, against that rally too. Randolfo's rally, that's what I'm saying. There are the opportunities, but you have to grab them to make things happen. Go ahead and hit the like button, share a lot, go all out.
We'll be back soon with more news and information from the Pais e Filhos channel. Fabiano Gigay. Bye.